Hola clase, let's go over your comparative and superlative review sheet. Feel free to pause, fast forward, rewind, whatever you need to do so that you're getting the best review possible for yourself. Remember, the quiz tomorrow will be over your vocab. Do you know it Spanish to English? Do you know it English to Spanish? And do you know how to put that vocabulary into comparative and superlative sentences? Here we go. Formula for comparisons of equality and what they're used to say. Well, they're used to say as blank as. How do you say as blank as in Spanish? You say tan blank como. Here's the whole thing, but tan blank como is the gist of that. Formula for comparisons of inequality and what they're used to say. They're used to say that someone is more or less blank than, or in English, like bigger than, smarter than. It equals ER, but in Spanish there is no way to say that, so you say more blank than, or less blank than, which you get by más o menos, your adjective or your adverb, and K, más o menos K. Formula for superlatives and what they're used to say. They're usually used to say that someone or something is the most or least blank. In English, it's usually EST, smartest, prettiest, tallest. It equals EST. But in Spanish, it's the most or least blank. You need your subject plus your verb. It's very important to have your definite article. Then you may or may not have your noun, más o menos, your adjective, and you might have the group that you're comparing it to. Formula for super superlatives and what they're used to say. I guess I don't have a formula as far as a sentence formula, but you take the adjective, drop the vowel at the end if it has one, and add isimo, isima, isimos, or isimas, making sure you have an accent on the first I in that ending. And we use it to say someone or something is super something. What are the four irregular words that you won't use with comparisons of inequality and regular superlatives? What do you change them to, and what else should you know about them? Well, you do not use más o menos with those four, and you exchange the old words for these new words. So you exchange bien for mejor, mal for peor, joven for menor, and viejo for mayor. So the ones that you're using mean better, or if it's in a superlative, best, worse, or if it's in the superlative, worst, younger, or if it's in the superlative, youngest, and older, or if it's in the superlative, oldest. Anything else? These adjectives still have to match the noun, but they usually go before the noun, which is an exception to most adjectives. Alright, these flip-flops are the prettiest shoes in the mall. Hopefully you recognize that this is a superlative, therefore you need this formula, which you can either go through it word for word to check to make sure you have each thing from the formula, or you can rephrase it in your brain to how they would say it in Spanish. How would they say it in Spanish? They would say, these flip-flops are the shoes most pretty. The shoes most pretty of the mall. Therefore, we would get, and again, pause if you would like to, but here we get estas chancletas. This and these have T's, it has to match. Son los zapatos más lindos. We put a box around this information in our notes because if there is a noun right here whose gender differs from the original subject, the article and the adjective have to match this noun. So that's why it's los zapatos más lindos, even though we're talking about flip-flops. Del, because de plus el, centro comercial. That's your sentence. Number 2. The ties are as nice or elegant as the suit. This is a formula of comparison, so as blank as is tan blank como. Las corbatas son tan elegantes, elegantes to match corbatas, como el traje, tan blank como to say as blank as. Number 3, these shop windows are bigger than the others. Hopefully you recognize that this is a comparison of inequality. Bigger. There is no way to say bigger in Spanish, so we say more big. Estas, to match vitrinas, are, son. Más grandes, more big, than the others. All of these things have to match vitrinas grandes, las otras, and don't forget you always conjugate your verb for your subject, so they are. Number 4, these wallets have more discounts than those wallets. Honestly, this is a comparison of quantity, which we didn't talk about, but you are equipped enough to say it. So we want to say these wallets have more. How do you say more than? Más que. So more discounts than. So right here, descuentos are neither an adverb or an adjective. It's actually a noun. But again, it's the same concept. Those wallets. This and these have T's, that and those don't. Number 5. These gloves are the loosest in the store. Is this a comparative or a superlative? Loosest, E-S-T, equals a superlative. Therefore, we would use our superlative formula, or we would just think of how we're actually saying it. And in Spanish, we say these gloves are the most loose. Estos guantes, because that's masculine, are the most loose, all matching guantes, los guantes, in the store is of the store. Number 6. This belt is as tight as the other. Is this a comparative or superlative? It is a comparative of equality, as blank as, tan blank como. This belt, este cinturón, it is, so es tan apretado como el otro. Number 7. The female cashiers are older than the male cashiers. We've done some of these multiple times at this point, so I hope you guys are getting these. This is a comparison of inequality. However, it is one of our irregulars, and with our irregulars, what don't we use? We do not use más o menos, because we actually in Spanish have a word that means older, so we're not going to say more older. So we end up saying las cajeras son mayores, to match the plurality of cashiers, que los cajeros. We don't want more older, we just want older. Number 8. The scarves are super long. What is this? This is a super superlative. So the scarves are super long. If you remember from your notes, largo is long. We would drop the vowel and add isimo and make it match. So to match bufandas, it would be isimas. But if you just have G and then I, that's pronounced larguísimas. And this is the irregular that we talked about, having to add the U to make it larguísimas. Number 9. We look better in mini skirts than in mid-length skirts. Again, we've done this one before. This is a comparison of inequality, better. However, it is another irregular. In Spanish, we have a word for better, so we're not going to want more better, so we get rid of the más o menos part. And remember, to look or appear in something in Spanish is the verb phrase verse con. You might have nosotros, although it'd be better to say nosotras if we're talking about miniskirts. Nos vemos, it's a reflexive verb. We say in. We look better. Mejor, make it match. Mejores, because there's more than one of us. Con minifaldas, que con faldas a media pierna. In English, the only part we make plural in mid-length skirts is skirts. So the only part in Spanish that we make plural is skirts. We don't make mid-leg or mid-length plural. And again, the phrase is verse con, not verse en. So we use con. Both times we say in English. Number 10. The fitting room is super big. This is a super superlative. Take the adjective, drop the vowel if it ends in one. So el probador es, what's big, grande. I know down here it says drop the O, but in your notes it says drop the vowel. So I drop the E and add isimo. I double check to make sure it matches, and it does, because el probador is singular and masculine. Number 11. The mirror is the worst mirror in the store. Is this a comparative or a superlative? We're saying the worst, therefore it's a superlative. But not only is it a superlative, it's one of our irregulars. There is a way to say the worst in Spanish, so we're not going to use más o menos, and it's one of those irregulars that goes before the noun. So how would we say this in Spanish? We're going to say this mirror is the worst mirror. The worst mirror in the store. And number 12. I am the youngest. EST equals a superlative. So this would be our formula, but again in Spanish with the four irregulars we do not use más o menos, and the adjective goes before the noun. There doesn't have to be a noun in this sentence, but if it said I am the youngest student, that would be an example of that. So therefore I am, soy or yo soy. Next, I need my definite article. Well, it depends on if I'm a boy or if I'm a girl. If I'm a boy, el menor. If I'm a girl, la menor. I am the youngest. If I got rid of the el or the la, that just says I am younger. So I need the el or the la, as per our formula, to say the youngest. So let me get rid of what I marked out there. That's the correct answer. I am the youngest. And if you have to write something similar to this on the quiz tomorrow, I would expect you to reflect your gender as we did here. This has been a review of your comparatives and superlatives. I hope you guys are studying up and know your vocab to prepare yourselves for tomorrow.